All right, Liz, let's take a look at your essay. MLA citation first. Number one, although this is correct, it does not need to be italicized, nor does the title need to be italicized. So make sure that you fix those two things. This is okay. In addition, not really necessarily a great title, not very creative, not very tied into the play itself. So something maybe a little bit better there. All right, a couple of things that I want to point out about this first paragraph with point of view. This is supposed to be written in third person point of view, but you have a we and you have a you. I don't know where it is, right there. Okay, so that neither of those, there's first, there's second point of view. So we have to be very careful that we're going to keep it in third person point of view. Now it says we have all gone against our values or morals in order to achieve an important goal in our life. Have we? Do you know every single person that's reading your paper and they've always gone against their morals or values? Anyways, something to think about. Is that necessarily a very true statement? And then cruelty can stem from this growing motivation to achieve such a goal maybe. But you kind of jump a little bit from going against our values to the idea of cruelty. And I get that cruelty could be a step in order to do that, but I don't feel like you've really set up this idea enough to jump into this. You have a space issue here. You mention these characters without mentioning that it's from Shakespeare's work Macbeth. You got to mention it at the same time, okay? So you can't just mention characters and not tell me where it's from. I like the heartless and rash acts of cruelty. That's a really good phrasing there. From betraying those closest to gain power and savagely killing those who are innocent to stay in control, the tragic play Macbeth discloses what acts of cruelty is going to reveal about your character. Okay, obviously you're going to focus on Macbeth, and how corruption and cruelty can function in the work as a whole. So this is basically this is the prompt. Okay, now you shouldn't be just repeating your prompt. You want to be specific with what it does, which is getting into the thesis statement. So instead of really saying this part, add this first part, try to figure out a different way to end it, and then jump into this, because I think these are your main points: betraying those, savagely killing. I guess I don't know these are your main points, and I really think this has got to be after you mention the idea of Macbeth being cruel to them. Because you really haven't mentioned the idea that this is going to revolve around Macbeth's cruelty to these people. So we need to figure that out. And maybe that's not. Maybe is Macbeth being cruel to himself? I guess I don't know what your main points are. Your thesis statement is good. I like it. It's underlined, so that one's on the right track. So just a couple of things to fix in that intro. All right. We need a much better topic sentence here at the beginning. Nothing that really is that preview sentence of what's coming up. Good use of embedded quote here, although when you got a comma here, you don't need one here. Either put one or the other, okay? So you have your show part up till here. So that's not bad, 2 sentences, maybe 3 sentences there to get you into the mean, which the mean takes up the most of the rest of the paragraph. Here's the one problem, though. And I'm afraid that this is going to be a theme, is your thesis is that people are willing to betray those around them in order, and if it means getting power, okay? All you've said in the mean is exactly that, okay? Now, she's willing to manipulate those closest to her in order to gain power, so there's a repeat exactly of the thesis. You have a sentence fragment here. You have a sentence fragment here, but everything in between is that she betrays her own typically female nature of a caring mother and loving wife to become a power-hungry and deceptive character. Now, I'm not sure if you read the same Macbeth I did, but she also said that she's willing to kill her own kid to get ahead in life. So is she really a caring mother and loving wife? Obviously Macbeth thinks highly of her, but she's also she's pretty deceptive as well. So that goes against you. But what else are you saying in here? She doesn't let anything get in the way of her plans and actions, even if it means hurting those, which is exactly what your thesis is. And And then we jump right back into second person point of view. You got to avoid that. Above all, carrying out your plans and actions for achieving a crucial goal, even if the deed is cynical and cruel, is crucial in accomplishing your goals. Okay, so you use crucial goal twice, basically, in your sentence here. So that doesn't make sense. Not worded correctly. And I don't have a strong transition statement. But again, it goes back to, what are you adding to the body of the paragraph from your thesis statement? How are you expanding on that thesis statement? Now, even though your thesis statement is good, are you doing enough in here to expand on it? Or as you think about a rewrite and think about, what I say to you about each thing, is it clear that maybe something else will stick out? Because I like the idea of betraying her instinctual values of a wife, okay? And maybe that's part of where you go. The idea, I don't know, you'll get to Macbeth in a second. His instinctual thing should be to not kill the king, right? Because he's his friend. But he does it anyway. Her instinctual thing should be to be supportive of her husband and to be a loving wife. That's her set, role in life, but she goes against it. So is that maybe kind of where your thesis needs to go? I don't know. Something that you'll have to figure out maybe as we keep going. But we'll see if it carries out here in the rest of your body paragraphs. All right. Again, we want to work on a really strong topic sentence with this paragraph. You got a punctuation error here. From 3 scheming witches start to come true. So soon he quickly turns to violence and brutality under the pressure of not only his conniving wife, but his own ambitious saying. Of his own ambitions, saying, see how this is really awkwardly worded here, saying as he continues to plan the demise of others, so this is not really an embedded quote here. You have 2 periods here as well, so obviously we need to work on that too. So he shows little remorse for Duncan, his friend Banquo, and all the other lives he's responsible for. Thane revealed that the stroke of power can lead a once honest man to make rash decisions. Okay, so we haven't really talked about rash decisions already. But then you jump, in this case, there's another fragment sentence. In this case, killing all those that stand in his way of power or threaten his power. Those are the rash decisions he's making. And that reveals he's willing to betray those who hold power over him as well as his close friends in order to accomplish his goals and ambitions. Now, when I go back up and I look at your thesis statement, it's a cruel motivational factor to show that people are willing to betray those that hold power over them in order to achieve their goal. So let's go back to Lady Macbeth real quick. Your focus in here should be about, if that is your thesis, okay, your focus in Lady Macbeth is how she betrays Macbeth. Macbeth holds power over her. So really, she's betraying Macbeth at this particular point. It is about manipulation. I understand that. But essentially, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, about the whole role, power role that you have. She's supposed to be this submissive, caring wife. I don't even know caring and loving again. I think that's even too far. She's just supposed to be submissive. She's just supposed to do whatever Macbeth wants. And yet, she manipulates him, which is going against the power over them. So she's doing that. But I don't think that's really portrayed here. I don't think you've really got that far. This is a little bit closer. He's willing to betray those who hold power over him. Now, you say as well as close friends. That wasn't part of your thesis. It's just about people that hold power over them. So I'd be careful that you only talked about Duncan in here. Don't worry about Banquo. He doesn't fit in with the thesis right now. And yes, they may start out as virtuous and morally responsible, but can lead to go against their morals and aspiration of success, which is fine. But again, the focus should be on, what does that tell you about somebody that goes against their people that have power over them? How do they function? That's got to be where your focus goes. All right, I just now noticed this. You literally, nearly word for word, your first sentences are almost the exact mirror of each other. So this Macduff, the respected Thane of Fife, makes it evident what his true goal is. Macbeth, the brave and honorable Thane, straightforward what his ultimate goal was. Lady Macbeth, the cunning wife, made it clear what her intentions were. These are not good topic sentences anyway, so we want to change those around anyway and give a good idea of what's going on, and that kind of kind of spitting out and formulaic writing is not what the people on the AP test are going to see. They're going to see originality. They're going to see vivid sentence structure, so on and so forth. You do have some space problems here again. You have some extra space here, some extra space here, so be careful of that. Okay, so this is supposed to be about Macduff. This is not an embedded quote. He just says this, okay? You have a comma error here. So these thoughts of cruelty reveal, again, you're going to repeat yourself, that the only thing he has is about killing Macbeth. He's willing to betray all he stood in his way in order to achieve his goal of executing Macbeth. Just kind of repeat it again. This shows the reader that people are willing to do whatever it takes when fury, cruelty, and the idea of revenge take over their mind in order to gain power and achieve their ultimate goals. Now, what power is Macduff hoping to get from killing Macbeth? I think you have a hard time tying that in. He is ready to achieve an ultimate goal, which is avenging his family. This is the part where you lose me. At a glance, one's ambition may seem progressive, but when accompanied by rage and misery, it can lead to rash decision-making and inconceivable deeds. What does that have to do with Macduff? Because that's not really Macduff at all. His rage and misery defeated a tyrant king, so I mean that's good. So I don't think this even fits in with Macduff. And what does it have to do with having power over? Well, we'll go back to your thesis statement. What does it have about those who hold power over them? Well, you can easily tie this into Macbeth. Macbeth has power over him by killing his family, and so he has to react differently because of that power. So I think you can tie it in. You just didn't do it. Certainly, you're focusing too much on people who do cruel acts. They do it to achieve a goal. Yes, but what does that achieving of that goal ultimately reveal about them as characters in the grander scheme? That's the question you have to answer. Now, with your conclusion, remember you're first going to start off with your thesis statement, your restatement of your thesis statement, but it has to be underlined, so make sure you do that. Try to give each character a sentence of summary, which you do down here. You say them all first, and then you do down here. I don't even think this is necessary because you're going to talk about this. I mean, you already basically talked about it here, so this whole sentence you can probably get rid of. You got a space issue here that you got to fix. This is a sentence fragment, so you got to work on that. This shows how one's motivation or ambitions can lead to acts of cruelty and what such acts reveal about their characters. This is, again, the prompt. Get rid of it. You got to get rid of the use. Okay. This is just a repeat of what you've said a million times already, so you got to get rid of that. All right. Works cited page looks good, so you're all set there. All right. You have some good things in here, Liz, and you got some things that you definitely need to work on. A lot of dinky things, if you will. The italicized, the spaces, the topic sentence that are just repeated, but definitely, obviously, making sure this thesis statement is really expanded on in the body paragraphs. All right, good luck with the rewrite.